I'm Joan Epler. Please join with Dr. Gary Epler, Harvard Medical School. Dr. Epler recently discovered a new life philosophy. It's know who you are moment by moment. Today, we're going to talk about how this applies to empathy.
I'm Dr. Gary Epler. I recently developed the idea of know who you are moment by moment. It's a new way of life. At first, this meant know the brain region you're thinking from, and that's who you are moment by moment. Recently, I realized there's more to it. Knowing the brain region is only one part. There are three other parts: the heart, the belly brain, and the mind. It's helpful to know the function of these four parts to help you learn where you are.
Let's start with the head brain. What's the function?
The head brain is to improve our lives every day. Financially, not too little and not too much, and socially, 3 to 5 close relationships. The head brain is for life-threatening emergencies and will save your life by instincts from the amygdala and cingulate brain regions. The remaining function is to implement the thinking from the heart, the belly brain, and the mind.
What are the feelings associated with the head brain?
For the head brain, the feelings include anger and the self-centered feelings like resentment, judgment, and retaliation. The feeling of pleasure comes from the brain addiction center. This means thinking from these head brain regions is not helpful and not healthy, causing stress and inflammation-related diseases.
What are the functions of the heart, the belly brain, and the mind?
The heart is to keep us healthy. The heart will do anything to keep itself healthy and, in return, keep us healthy. The belly brain is for risk management, and it's for healthy nutrition. Use the belly brain to eliminate that COVID 15 pounds. The belly brain will tell you not to eat that extra portion, not to eat those sugar foods or salty foods, and not to eat those bad fatty foods. The mind is for creativity.
What are the feelings associated with the heart, the belly brain, and the mind?
The feelings from the heart include kindness, empathy, appreciation, and giving. Each of these result in health for yourself and for others. Listen to the heart for answers for important life decisions. For the belly brain, it's fear. When you're afraid or suddenly startled, it's in the belly. The belly brain is fear. For the mind, it's total calmness, security, and unconditional love. Learn these feelings to help you to know where your feelings are coming from.
Let's apply this philosophy to empathy. People can be mean and judgmental to each other during the day-to-day social interactions. People need to communicate with empathy and kindness. How can people do this?
Realize that people yell at you or are mean to you not because of you, but because the way they are thinking and feeling. They're thinking from the anger center or that cingulate stress center, not from the heart. They're mad at their boss, mad because they lost a job, mad because they don't have enough money, mad because someone disagrees with them. Or they're blaming someone, blaming the job, the government, or their spouse for all their problems. This is what's going on in their head. You are not the cause of the anger. However, the natural response to being yelled at is to be angry in return, which is a response from the head brain center. There's another way to respond. Bypass the anger response, the typical anger. Think from the heart with empathy. Put yourself in the other person's situation. They're upset, not you. Here's a call to action. The next time someone yells at you or is mean to you, don't think from your head. Think from the heart with empathy and let it go. And over time, you'll get a bonus. because you keep doing this. The bypass response will happen automatically without you even thinking about it. You'll find yourself thinking from the heart and not from the anger center.
This is a strange question, but what do you do when you get angry at a door because your finger got jammed or mad at your computer because it doesn't respond?
This is not a strange question. It happens to everybody. Everybody does this. I do. These annoyances trigger the anger center. So you do the same thing. You bypass the anger center and use empathy from the heart. This time, the empathy is not for someone else, but it's for you. Just be kind to yourself. Use self-compassion.
We need to be able to have deep conversations about relationships, jobs, even politics, without anger and stress. How is this possible?
It's a skill that needs to be learned. It's not a natural response. The natural response is an easy way out, getting mad, angry, and yelling. It's an inborn response. So we need to learn how to have these deep conversations that may be painful short term, but long term they are healthy and more productive. Without these deep conversations, people will continue to hold anger and resentment. People need to use empathy from the heart for these conversations. Listen to the other person's perspective without thinking from the anger center or cingulate, self-centered thinking center. Listen to the whole story about the person's feelings and opinions. You'll find out why the person feels this way, and they'll find out why you feel the way you do. This will bring closure so that both of you can deal with moving forward instead of not knowing what's going on, continually thinking about the problem, and often wrongly deciding how the other person feels. None of this is healthy. It takes away from your life and the other person's life and goes nowhere. Learn to use empathy for deep conversations by thinking from the heart.
Anything else?
When we listen, we need to listen to someone else to understand, not to talk. For example, you're talking with someone and you're thinking about what to say next without paying attention to what's being said. You'll not understand what the other person says. You won't know how the other person feels. You may miss learning something that can improve your life. Listen with empathy for improved understanding. You may be able to help someone, or you may learn something that can help you.
How about romantic breakups or business partnerships breakups?
If you gotta break up with a deep conversation using empathy from the heart. The easy way out? It's ghosting. You just stop answering texts, stop answering emails or calls. This is cingulate, self-centered thinking. This leaves the other person angry and not knowing what's going on, feeling bad about themselves. They'll blame and criticize themselves. There is no closure. The first person gets over this in a few hours. The second person can hang on to these bad feelings for days and maybe even years. And some situations lead to serious long-term health issues. Meet up with this person. Give them a call. Or better yet, use a Zoom call. Discuss the issue from the heart with empathy. This will be painful for 1 or 2 hours for both people. But life will go forward with no continual unanswered questions and unhealthy stress.
If someone is angry with you, think from the heart. Use empathy. If you need to have a deep conversation, think from the heart and use empathy. Do you have any closing comments?
Know who you are moment by moment. Learn to bypass the brain anger center and that brain cingulate self-thinking center by using empathy and kindness from the heart. Someone or something triggers your anger center? Bypass this feeling. Use empathy. Need a deep conversation? It's always about the other person. Use empathy from the heart.
This is Joan Epler and Dr. Gary Epler closing today's segment. Next time, We'll end Season 1 talking about the Eplerian philosophy, a new way of life.